Last night, your brain knew the time before your alarm did. No clock, no sunlight, no sound. Yet somehow, you opened your eyes just seconds before the alarm rang. It feels impossible, almost supernatural. But it happens to millions of people, again and again. Most people think it's luck. Scientists think it's biology. Hidden inside your brain is a clock that has been ticking for hundreds of millions of years. It never needs batteries. It never stops. And it quietly controls almost every hour of your life, long before humans built clocks, before calendars, before civilization. Life already knew what time it was. Plants opened their leaves before sunrise. Birds began singing before dawn. Even tiny bacteria followed daily schedules. The earth kept spinning. Life adapted. Over billions of years, evolution rewarded organisms that could predict tomorrow, instead of merely reacting to today. Humans inherited that ancient system, and it still lives inside your head. Deep within your brain sits a tiny cluster of about 20,000 nerve cells. It's called the suprachiasmatic nucleus. Scientists usually call it the SCN. Despite being smaller than a grain of rice, it acts as your master clock. It receives information directly from your eyes, not about what you see, but about how bright the world is. Morning sunlight resets the clock. Darkness starts a different countdown. Every single day, the SCN sends timing signals throughout your body. Your heart listens. Your liver listens. Your immune system listens. Even your skin follows its schedule. Nearly every cell in your body keeps time. Together, they create what scientists call your circadian rhythm. The word comes from Latin. Circa means around. Diem means day, around one day, not exactly 24 hours. For most people, the natural rhythm lasts slightly longer, roughly 24.2 hours. Without sunlight, your internal day slowly drifts. That was demonstrated in remarkable experiments. In the 1960s, French geologist Michel Siffre lived alone inside a cave. No clocks, no windows, no sunrise, no sunset. He spent weeks underground, then months. Researchers monitored his behavior from the surface. Something incredible happened. Siffre completely lost track of calendar time, yet his body continued following its own daily rhythm. He slept, he woke, he ate, all on an internal schedule. His brain was generating time without seeing time. That discovery transformed sleep science. It proved humans carry their own biological clock wherever they go. But one mystery remained. Why do some people wake up moments before an alarm? The answer begins the night before. When you decide to wake at exactly 7 a.m., your brain doesn't simply forget that information. Instead, it starts preparing hours before morning. Researchers have found that the body begins increasing levels of the stress hormone cortisol shortly before your expected wake-up time. Not enough to make you anxious, just enough to gently increase alertness. Your blood pressure slowly rises, body temperature climbs, brain activity increases. It's almost like your body is quietly stretching before you even wake. And if your alarm time stays consistent, your internal clock becomes astonishingly accurate, sometimes accurate enough to beat the alarm itself. That doesn't mean your internal clock is perfect. Late nights confuse it. Jet lag shifts it. Night shift work pushes it into unfamiliar territory, but under stable conditions, it becomes remarkably precise. Sleep researcher Dr. Matthew Walker explains that regular sleep schedules strengthen the body's internal timing system. Consistency teaches your brain when to expect sleep and when to expect daylight. The more predictable your routine becomes, the more predictable your waking becomes. But there is another reason alarms sometimes feel so terrible. Imagine someone shaking you awake in the middle of a sentence. That's essentially what an alarm clock often does. Sleep isn't one continuous state. It moves through repeating cycles: light sleep, deep sleep, REM sleep. Then the cycle begins again. Each cycle lasts about 90 minutes. If your alarm interrupts deep sleep, your brain hasn't finished the process. Scientists call the groggy feeling afterward sleep inertia. Your body is awake, but parts of your brain are still asleep. Memory slows. Reaction time drops. Decision-making becomes harder. For a few minutes, you aren't fully yourself. Ironically, when you wake naturally, just before your alarm, you often avoid the worst of sleep inertia. Your brain has already begun the transition. Your body was preparing long before your eyes opened. Another fascinating discovery involves expectation. Researchers have shown that simply believing you must wake at a certain time changes your sleep. Your brain remembers the goal. It quietly watches the passing night. No conscious effort is required. While you dream, millions of neurons continue measuring time. You are asleep. Your biological clock is not. This ancient timing system affects much more than waking. It influences hunger, learning, hormones, mood, athletic performance, even the effectiveness of certain medicines. Doctors now study a growing field called chronobiology. Instead of asking only what happens inside the body, they ask when it happens. Sometimes timing changes everything. A medicine taken in the morning may work differently than the same medicine taken at night. The body is never doing the exact same thing twice in one day. It follows rhythms older than humanity itself. Those rhythms were shaped beneath rising suns, long before cities existed, long before watches, phones, or alarm clocks. Your ancestors didn't wake because a device beeped. They woke because their brains sensed morning approaching. That ancient ability never disappeared. It simply became hidden beneath modern technology. So the next time you open your eyes and glance at the clock, only to see 1 minute before the alarm, don't call it coincidence. You are witnessing millions of years of evolution quietly keeping time inside your skull. Every sunrise your ancestors survived, every season they endured, every generation that successfully woke before danger, helped build the clock that now lives inside you. Perhaps the most amazing clock you'll ever own is the one you'll never see.